Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today I welcome everyone on Sunday night. And today's my guest on Mindful Talk with Amber on the show of Women That Inspire Me is a very special one and very dear to my heart. Dr. Lilisa Mimms, thank you so much for joining us tonight, especially on a Sunday night. And I know you do a lot, and it's late. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you to one of the greatest hosts that I know, other than Oprah Winfrey, Commissioner Amber Huq. You're amazing. Channel 52, my dear friends, Ana and Farah. Thank you so much for always bringing me to be on one of the greatest stations in Patterson. I'm super excited to be here tonight.
Oh, you are so humble. You just made my night. So what can I say about you? First of all, because you are an amazing mom, you are a woman who inspire walking. You're a walking, I would say, an atmosphere that you carry with yourself within Patterson, a blessing, a humble air. Wherever you walk, I think if something is going wrong, you carry that energy that things calms down. So yes, and I feel that motherly power coming from you, and I know that you're such an amazing mom. You have raised beautiful daughter, which also herself, she's such a successful person. But tonight we want to talk about you. So I wanted you to say something that the city doesn't know about you, or something that you want to share with us, with our audience tonight.
And so I am a mother of four. I know everyone knows my daughter. I have three boys as well, but I'm also a grandmother too. I have two grandchildren. I have a grandson and a granddaughter. I'm a sister. I'm an aunt. I'm a daughter. I mean, just so many things. And I mean, everyone knows I love the city of Patterson, but I also, I like to try new things. So I'm always very inquisitive. Like I don't, some people know that about me and a lot don't. Back in school, my seventh grade teacher, who is my neighbor to this day, she used to call me dictionary girl, because anytime someone said a word I didn't understand, whether it was short, long, couldn't pronounce it, I always carried a dictionary. And still to this day, when someone says something and I really don't know what it means or what it stands for, I'll write it down. And now, of course, technology, I can look it up on my phone or I can go to the computer. But I am still to this day always curious, like, what does that mean? How can that be beneficial to impact not just my life and my family's life, but to the community, to the world? And so I've always been that type, we talk about Curious George. I guess you could call me Inquisitive Mimms, because I'm always looking like, why is it like that? Why can we do it a little different? And I think that's been a part of my success story throughout the course of, like, as a oldest child, just me and my sister, as a corporate former executive. It was always, I got to win the great awards and great trips because I always ask the stuff that no one thought about. I think it's a gift. It's not, because I don't think I'm that smart. I think it's a gift that God has given to me, and I'm just really humbled by it, because it really helps. Like, after you hear it and you go, I didn't think about that, but yeah, she's right. But I think it's a gift it's inept inside of me that allows me to dig into stuff that is not on the surface, and I love it. Like, now I'm just like, okay, it's who I am. I'm not gonna run from it. It's just who I am. So all over my house, I think I have 8 libraries. People don't know that. In my home, I have 8 libraries, and books are everywhere. On my kitchen table, there's always a book. On my dining room area, in my bedroom, I'm always reading something or writing something, between books or journals. They're all over my house because I'm very inquisitive. How do you fix this? And what is the perspective that someone else had on it? So it is just a part of the gifting, I believe, that's on my life.
Yeah, I absolutely believe and agree with you, because we grew up like that. My dad, he used to say one word and look into the dictionary, and then in the dictionary, to explain one word, there's a couple of other words, and he used to say, just go look for the other word. What does that mean? The synonyms, and that's just the old school way of doing it, which again brings me back to the comparison with technology nowadays. Like their
Yeah.
ebooks now. Kids are, I think, one of the reason that literacy has gone down is they don't get to read as much because there's books which are reading for them. So that ability of not reading their by themselves makes them lacking in spellings and having less vocabulary.
And I agree. That's why I think it's important for parents to read
Mhm.
to your kids, and then in school that they're reading to your children, and then you, because we a lot of times we don't understand that the educational process is triangular, right? It's the
Mhm.
parents, it's the teachers, and then it's the students. So you have to, that triangular approach has to always be in play. When we miss one of the components of it, that's when we have the lack or the deficiency in the educational learning process. So we have to make sure, okay, they go to the classroom, they're there for X amount of hours pre-pandemic, right? They're there all these hours, but it's not enough for the teachers, the parents, right? We know there has been a low or a lack of parental involvement in many areas, but parents have to be more engaged, more involved. And then the student, right? So me as a mom, I used to be at all the press conferences in the morning. You call, I would be there. But now my son is a senior. So in the morning, the mayor knows, everyone knows, Mimms is not coming in the morning. Like I'm gonna be right here with him so that whatever he needs, even if it's just my presence being here, I'm gonna make sure that I'm here to make sure the hand holding. Okay, you want to pronounce it? Let's think about it. What does that mean? So he can comprehend and understand. So everyone knows before 12, off limits. Like it's virtual time, and not just for my son, but there's other students that they reach out to me, and I try to provide guidance and instruction to them as well. And then I have a few people that I know that do virtual tutoring, so I connect them with parents and students, and it's just been wonderful. So I'm looking forward to him graduating, and still not sure what he's going to do after graduation. So that inspired my children's book, When I Grow Up, because he never knows where he wants to be. Every day it changes. Even today, he was like, well, I think I want to do fencing in college, but I don't know what I want to go to school for. So
Is he your youngest?
he's my youngest. He's 18. So we laugh about it all the time. My daughter is like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, maybe I want to do this. And so my daughter always picks my book up and go, when I grow up, this is him. So we get a good chuckle out of it. But
Of
I'm like,
course.
as long as he stays focused,
Yeah.
he works. My older two, they're working. The oldest one, he was working, but now with the pandemic, they have them on like a furlough experience or whatever. But even with them staying focused, my 24-year-old, he's still working. He's out every day. Right now, he's with his girlfriend. They're at that age, so he's with his girlfriend. She's wonderful. I love her, so I gave her a check. Like I like her.
Awesome. And it's online. You're giving her a check for chili.
She's approved. I gave her a green check, so she's good.
Okay.
She's good.
Awesome, awesome. We have a lot of audience with us. Paula saying she's watching. Great job, ladies. Imrani is, yes, good job carrying dictionary, old school. Um, so a lot of comments coming from many different people.
Good
Uh,
evening, everybody. For me, my heart is with the people always. So anytime I get an opportunity to share my heart, my experience, and I don't know if we'll have time, but I'm open for questions. I told I call her my co-host because we host together sometimes. And I told her, for me, I stayed up tonight for her and for the great owners of this channel 52, for Anan and Farah, who are my great friends. So if we have time and you want to ask some questions to the audience, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
yes,
I'm here for you tonight.
so I'm gonna share some pictures of you a little bit. I know you do a lot. A little, Snapchat of a couple of things that you did within the last year. So if we can just have the screen, pictures on the screen, and
Oh, that is me in the council chambers. Um, it has been an awesome and awesome. I remember May 8th. winning the election. I was talking about this 2 days ago to one of my supporters in the senior building.
Mm-hmm.
And the night of the election, we were in my headquarters, and some that are watching, they will clearly remember this. My headquarters was jam packed. We had some of our seniors that were outside the headquarters. They were in their wheelchairs. I mean, we had youth that had paraded around the city, and it was so packed inside and outside. And we were waiting for the numbers and the results. And I remember, I think it was about 95% of the count that came in. And we were like, okay, what do you want to do? So we did some internal strategy stuff. My daughter was my strategist. I had a great team. And so I said to them, I said, when we saw the numbers, I said, okay. I said, we can announce now. Somebody called and was like, no, don't announce that. It's too early. And I said, we can announce. We've done, look, I'm kind of a mastermind with this stuff now. But I just said, I know, like, we can announce. And some of them are watching. So they were like, yes, we can announce. And I remember when telling them we won, and everybody, I mean, they lit the place up. This photo that we just saw, one of my absolute favorite photos. This was pre-pandemic. I'm sitting in the auditorium of a school I graduated from, School 21. It is a school my kids went to. My sister went there. My nieces, my nephews, they all went there. And in 2008, when God called me out of my job, it was the very first school that I adopted. So I remember saying, I want to sit on the floor and I'm going to take a picture. And the kid said, Dr. Mimms, because I used to work in the building too. They said, Dr. Mimms, we want to sit with you. And that's how that photo came about. So, and you know, if anyone knows me, they know I love the kids. And that picture is like one of my absolute favorite photos.
Such a memorable moment. Yeah.
Yes. And so this was, I believe it was 2 years ago. Everything is pre-COVID, as you can see. And this was the celebration of International Mother Language Day. And I remember learning the culture. I'm always inspired by the culture from your community. And then we were in the rooms, they were dancing and singing. And of course, there's always amazing food. So to the community at large, their food is absolutely wonderful. I'm always like, I want that, I want this, I want that. And then they taught us, I believe it's called Each One Deserves One, I think it's called.
Yes,
and they taught
the equality side.
Yes, and so we were there showing that there was equality, but in the midst of all the diversity in that room, this represented that we were equal. And I loved it. I love your humility. I love what you stand for. And I love how you embrace me. When I talk about Channel 52, I remember Channel 52 when there were no nice cameras. I remember when they were just getting started out, right? And I know they're probably watching me and laughing, right? But I remember when they were just getting started, and I was like one of their very first guests on the show. So to see where they've come from is just amazing.
Thank you. So the next picture. That's an amazing picture of you.
That is me on my 40, I think it was my 49th birthday. I think it was my 49th birthday. I was getting ready to get in my limo to go to New York to celebrate my birthday. And I just, I believe that we as queens, we should always have a place in our home that we have a queen chair. So in my house, I have this wonderful queen chair, and I pose in it and sleep in it more than I do anything else. So that's one of my favorite chairs in my house.
That's amazing. I wouldn't have known if you wouldn't have told me that's your 49th. It looks like that it's from picture from tonight.
Well, I am forever 21, so And so this is a recent photo. One of our school board commissioners, Corey T, he did this for Women's History Month. And I told him, so I'm just saying that I told him I was going to use it. I think the picture is phenomenal. So I'm going to be using it for different things. It's very colorful. It includes some of my very favorite colors, purple and gold. I absolutely love those colors. It represents royalty and wealth. And so it's one of the newer photos that I just started using. He honored me or celebrated me for Women's History Month. So I've been utilizing that picture the last couple of days. I figured, let me give you some fresh pictures where, I can really inspire someone. by, a fresh perspective and a fresh look.
Yeah, and the colors, you can tell that this is from the Women's International Day, because the theme and colors, it's a very strong picture. The way he captured it is amazing as an art.
Yes.
Let's have our next picture. Okay, in the meantime, when you get the picture, I wanted to ask you, why do you do what you do? Because, or the other way of asking it, that is there something inside you that you feel it's missing when you don't get to do what you actually do?
Absolutely. Someone asked this question. I spoke for a school, I think a couple weeks ago, and they
Mhm.
said, "How many times do you want to quit?" And I said, "Every single day." Like, I mean, honestly, every day I go, like, "Why am I doing this? Like, why am I pastoring? I never want to pastor. Uh, why am I in politics? I never wanted to be in politics. It wasn't an aspiration. It wasn't on a vision board. It wasn't. It's a part of my calling. It's a part of my destiny. And I believe that when it's purpose and it's destiny, that you're really not working. It's something that you have been born to do. It's an assignment that you must fulfill and complete. And so when I'm not doing it or not in alignment with my purpose and my calling, I can tell, because there's like an uneasiness or an uncomfortableness that I feel inside of me, that I'm not fulfilling my purpose. Like when I'm sitting sometime making decisions, right, on the council, when I'm sitting there, it's always in me to fight for the people. Like it never leaves me, no matter if I'm taking a stand alone, if nobody else is doing it. It's something in me. And I know it's a part of my gifting, my purpose, my destiny, that I have to stay true to that. When I was on the school board, I was known for that. When I was on a planning board, I was known for that. But it's just in me when I could be in a restaurant and all of a sudden, my daughter, she said, it gets on her nerves. But if I'm somewhere, I'm like, hold on for a minute. How are you? Like, how's your day? And it's always, I have to go the extra mile, but I know it's a part of what God placed inside of me. And when I'm not doing what I've been called to do, I feel like I'm like in a straitjacket, or I'm being harnessed. And so I am who I am. I've been born this way. I've been, what I do is what I do. Is no way I can break it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna hide out. Like I told you, I just locked. Somebody invited me to Clubhouse. Didn't know Clubhouse was what it was
Mhm.
about 7 days ago. And I said, I'm going in. I don't want nobody to know who I am. I'm just gonna hide out on Clubhouse. And all of a sudden, within the last 48 hours, I've been invited to the platform. I mean, the people on the platform have like 20,000 followers and 10,000 followers. Meanwhile, I think I had like 7 followers
Yeah,
because
amazing.
I'm new to the
And
platform.
and you have followers internationally all over, from Pakistan, India, of course, from, we channel from Bangladesh and South Asia and the Middle East, and because I have a couple of friends everywhere, and they actually watch your, Sunday pastoring.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a blessing, because we're called to the masses, right? To the nations. And so the words that come out of our mouth, they resound, and the messages that we speak and our words are weighty. And so I've learned a long time ago to watch what I say, because my words can move and shake things, or it can destroy and damage. So I've learned in life, like, okay, watch what you say, think about it before you respond, because it can change, it could damage, it could destroy, or it could build up, or it can make someone else be in a place of peace and be encouraged. So every day on my social media, I'm always doing words of encouragement. Even for the month of March, Women History Month, if you look at my page, I've been recognizing people for a long, long time. But what I'm doing now, the women that you see on my page are people that we know or we've thought about that they've done a great job, but you've never seen anybody recognize them. So some people might say, well, why didn't you name this person? Because they always get recognized. What about this? They always get recognized. But I want to name people that are great women that some people either forget to recognize, or they go, I didn't know they did that. Yeah, that's right. And then I noticed, as a trailblazer, other people post them the day after or 2 days after. because it's a reminder that everyone has greatness locked up inside of them. It just needs somebody to tap into it and introduce it to others.
Absolutely, absolutely, 110% right. I'm gonna take some questions because there's a lot of questions coming. If we can start from Mr. Patan because he's the one who start the question. There's so many amazing comments coming. Um, would you think about a property tax? I think what he wanted to say. What would you think about the property tax break for a quarter of property owner? What did Patterson Council did for this pandemic?
So, Mr. Prathan, I think it's a great question. Our taxpayers definitely, I'm a taxpayer. So let me say that first. I am a part of the taxpayer base. There's approximately 23,085 that are a part of that taxpayer base in the city of Patterson. And definitely we need a break. In the last budget cycle, there were six quarters where there was a tax, like a stability of taxes, where there was no increase. One of the concerns we have, though, as we continue to get transitional aid to help us with the deficit and all the voids we have, a part of the memorandum of understanding says that if we give you this money, that you have to raise 2%. I believe, and I've been saying it, I'm going to keep voicing it. I believe this should be the year on all levels that there will be no tax increase, because some people, if we raise another $100, another $50, some even another $20, they're not going to be able to live here. So we have to be able, we have to end this pandemic. We have to consider the people. I just posted it last week. When politics override the people, there's always going to be a problem. So, Mr. Patan, I'm in totally agreement with you. We need to give our taxpayers a relief. And by the way, we just got $63.7 million from the federal government. And I believe that money should be utilized to give our taxpayers a break, have some recreational opportunities for our senior, hazard pay for those first responders that were on the front line in the beginning of COVID. Another thing, some what do we call them, the substations for police in that first and fourth ward with the uptick of crime, and so many other things. I'm saying it on the microphone in the meetings. I'm going to definitely have it in writing, and I'm saying reiterating it on tonight. So these are some things that I've been advocating for, and I'm not going to stop until my voice is heard and the people's concerns are met. So, Mr. Patan, thank you for that great question.
Yeah, and I think that you already answered his question because it was linking with this one. And there's other comments from Tammy Grave. Another comment from Mr. Salaudin. Thank you, Amber Commissioner, for bringing Mrs. Lilisa Mimms on the show. She's very great woman and inspirational personality for women in New Jersey State and United States of America. Okay, exactly.
Assalamu alaikum to all of you out there. Good evening to all of you out there. Buenas noches to everyone out there. I respect all of you. Patterson is such a diverse community. We have over 72 different nationalities in our community. And so every day I'm trying to learn a word, trying to learn what the food is, doing taste testing and so many things. So just amazing, just absolutely amazing. I work alongside some amazing colleagues on the council, always learning in our city. I'm always sitting and learning and listening. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, I admire your thoughts and lively nature. Please speak about up-to-date COVID situation of Patterson City and what is the vaccination. So there's actually a lot going on. I'm going to let you answer that.
So great question, Udin. Your family lineage is great. Me and Mr. Taj Udin are very close. And so the COVID has been such a pandemic. It has definitely been, it's just egregious, right? It takes no prisoners. It doesn't matter if you have money, you don't have money, educated or not. It just came in with a vengeance. Personally, and my family alone, we've had deaths, we've had people sick. I have people that are currently sick, and so forth and so on. So I think we all can relate to that. Patterson was heavily impacted. But one thing about Patterson, we have a bounce back mentality that we can overcome anything. The vaccination rollout, there were definitely some concerns. We had a few emergency meetings to say, okay, we got to get this together. There were some great recommendations from not just myself, but other of the council colleagues that gave some great recommendations. Some were not listened to early on, but they eventually were. And I'm grateful for that. Vaccination rollout, there were some concerns with that. And then now we're still trying to get through that. One of the things we did, we're looking to do some shared services with the school district. And so we were meeting in regards to that. And so one of the things I asked in one of our meetings with, it was myself, council president, and our councilwoman Davila, we were in the meeting, and I asked the question, I said, well, how much have you spent? Because they offered a lot of their resources, nurses, security guards, and so many things. And I asked the question, how much did you spend? And they told us what the amount was. And I said, you know what? I said, we should be good neighbors to the school district. These are all of our children. We're providing resources, and these are benefiting the residents of the city of Patterson. And I know they expanded it throughout the state, which was a decision that was not my decision or the council's decision, but that was a decision made nevertheless. But I made the recommendation. I think we should be good neighbors, and let's work on making sure that this bill is taken care of, not out of the city's budget, but through the COVID dollars. And so with that being said, I noticed the memorandum of understanding as well. It was back, it was old, it was from 2016. So we worked on it, Corporation Council from both sides. They updated, amended it, talked to council president. He allowed me to lead a special meeting. And I believe it was 2 Fridays ago where we approved a new memorandum of understanding, which now has our new superintendent on it, the new mayor's signature, all of the new people that are currently in, because that was old and those people are no longer in position. But it also allowed us to take the expenditures that the school district put out, and we took them and we'll be sending them to FEMA to get reimbursed. So I think that's what good neighbors look like, right? When it comes to it, we're all impacted. I know some people are still waiting to be vaccinated. Please reach out to me or call the mayor's office. Call the mayor's office. There is a link to log in, but call the mayor's office or call the health department. The health department's number is 973-321-1277. And the mayor's office is 973-321-1600. And my number is 973-902-1957. 973-902-1957. Thanks, Yuta, for that great question.
Thank you for responding and giving your numbers also. And Patterson, the app that also directly takes to the to fill up the form for COVID vaccination.
Yes. So the Patterson Plus app, you can download that where they use it for COVID. They use it for if they didn't pick up your garbage, if they didn't pick up your recycling, if you notice a building that's being built and you think that there are some violations to it, signals, lights out, all different stuff. I mean, it's a long animal issues. It's a laundry list. You can download that app. That way, the app, when you put the request into the app, it sends it directly to the supervisor, and then they can, allocate or delegate who will go out and get the work done.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna ask. Our time is coming. 28 minutes. One of my last questions. Absolutely not the last one. If there's something that you want to change in you, what would that be?
And me, I think I give too much. Like I say no sometimes. I used to have a hard time saying no, but I think I need to kind of gauge it better, right? Because I will give everything. You name it. I love your jacket. I'm taking the jacket off. I love your necklace. I'm taking it off, right? So I have to be able to manage that, because sometimes if you give out too much, you could be used and or abused. So I have to manage that a little bit more, because I'm telling you, my mother used to say, you give away the store if you had it, right? So I have to be able to manage it. And then one of the other things that, I learned how to do is balance, right? So I'm in Patterson, I'm here all the time, But one of the things I do, because I know I have to balance it and get some me time so I can relax and to rest. So what I do with that, I go outside of Patterson for some of my amenities, right? So if I go to the spa, I don't go in Patterson, because if I go in Patterson, I'm not gonna be able to relax. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Dr. Mimms, I need you to help with this," and Dr. Mimms. So what I'm learning to do is to allocate and to balance my time. And if I say at 7 o'clock, I'm not taking any calls after 7, I got to work hard on not doing that, because after 7, it seems like everything starts happening. My phone is ringing. I'm getting text messages and everything. That's why I put my phone on silent so you don't hear all the calls that are coming through. But that's probably something that I probably would change. Work on not giving away everything. I can still give, but I have to be able to temper it.
Awesome, awesome. So I especially thank you for taking this time. I know it's 10 o'clock and you have a great team. Amanda is amazing, great people behind you. I know we have actually came to the end of our show, and I really, really thank you tonight for taking this time for us. Again, I'm going to end with this message that you always give, that we are better together. And I love that theme of yours. I think we as Pattersonians are blessed to have such an impactful woman as you are. God bless you for being there and doing whatever you do for us.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored. I think I'll end it on this quote, and I believe it is either Shirley Chisholm or Maya Angelou. They will get me because I forgot who did it at the moment. But it says, when one woman stands up for herself without even knowing it, she has stood up for so many women that were afraid to get out of their chair. And that is such my heart. Every time I do something, I'm like, there's so many others that are rooting and cheering you on because you've done it. And that is so important. Even for what you do, you're the first. Remember that? You're the first that was put on that board. And so even while you're there, your mind has to be, who can I bring up next, right? What's my next step, right? And those are always in your mind, like, because I'm always reminded, and I know we're closing, that I got here because of my purpose from God. It wasn't because of like the puppeteer string. It wasn't because someone said, here's a whole bunch of money, I'm dumping it on you. No, I got here because my purpose called me forward. And when it called me forward, my response was yes. And if you remember that, Commissioner Amber, and all of you that are watching, as you remember, when purpose calls you forward, you respond by saying yes. There's some people that will think you're crazy. There's some people that will tell you that it is not what you think it is. But if it is your purpose, you will succeed. And not only will you win, you're going to win real, real big. You're going to win big. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm super excited about it. Thank you so much for being the hostess with the mostest. I look forward to sharing this amazing platform with you any day, anytime. Anytime you want me, I'm always here for you on Channel 52.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much again. And thank you for everyone watching, and stay blessed. Good night, everyone.
Good night.